What exactly is sourdough starter and why you should switch to making your own sourdough bread? Sourdough is blowing up all over the internet right now, so if you're not familiar with it, I am going to tell you what it is. Sourdough starter is a live ferment of flour and water or wild yeast, and sourdough bread is the original form of leavened bread. Sourdough is the easiest bread for humans to consume and digest because it is a live ferment that gut-healthy bacteria eats up a lot of that sugar and starch in the bread, making it much lower on the GI index when compared to other breads. If you consume sourdough bread with your meal, it's going to lower the glycemic load of that entire meal by 25%. If you guys have ever heard of the blue zones, it's areas around the world where people live a lot longer. Sourdough bread is popular in those areas. So there are stores that sell sourdough bread, but a lot of times they are just adding sourdough flavoring to it. I've been baking my own sourdough bread for way over a year. My mom gave me her 235-year-old sourdough starter, which I do sell on my website, Herb House Apothecary. And not only is sourdough bread easier for us to digest, easier on our guts, but you are missing out on a lot of unnecessary ingredients that come in store-bought bread. When you make your own sourdough bread, it's typically only 4 or 5 ingredients, where bread at the store has a mile-long ingredient list. And store-bought bread is typically also made with enriched flour, which we know means that it was stripped of all its nutrients and then a bunch of synthetic nutrients were added back in that our body can't properly utilize and can cause health issues. So like I said, I inherited this starter. It is 235 years old. The details on this starter are on my website, but when you buy from me, you get 3 heaping tablespoons of dehydrated sourdough starter. I include very detailed instructions on how to rehydrate this, how to maintain it, and then all of my tips and tricks, as well as a QR code to my instructional video. You will essentially have sourdough starter for the rest of your life. My instructions teach you how to multiply this and how to dehydrate it yourself to gift to others or to have some for backup. Also, any recipe that calls for flour, you can use sourdough starter in. Also on my website are a bunch of sourdough and discard recipes for free. I hope this helps.